Welcome everyone. So I will start with question from Fred. Buys. How do you say your surname? Buys, B-U-Y-S-E, isn't it?
It's Base.
Bosse.
Base.
Buys.
Yes, it's in Dutch. You don't pronounce it in English or it's
Okay, no worries. Fred buys, yeah. So your question to me is, how do your days look like?
yeah. It's more a personal question, but I was really interested because my days are changing.
Yes. I have to say in this that these are not my days. How your days? It is, I have no ownership of any day, any situation. I'll give you a clue about it. And look, the thing is that more you dissolve in self, you don't have to ask anyone, you will know. When you have no ownership of this body's actions throughout the day, you don't call it your actions internally. So you don't get affected for anything, right or wrong, work finished, unfinished. I can tell you, ego feels very much happy when a job is finished the way it wants, isn't it? It sets an agenda. It wants things to be done in a way. Some people plan their day. Some plan every minute, every second of their day. Some keep planning for a week, for 2 weeks, for a month. Some have 5-year plans, like government plans. That all comes from ego sense. I'll tell you one truth. Self has no plan, no agenda. Body might still be going through its karmic debt and it has to do something or might be doing something. But don't identify with it. Identification is the problem. Body can be busy or body can be not busy. It doesn't matter. I'll give you an example like Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi. He was completely non-doer, sort of. Actually, literally, he was not doing anything. He used to wake up in morning. I'm saying wake up, but I don't know whether he used to sleep or not. He used to get out of the bed, go to the kitchen at 3 a.m., cut vegetables, prepare for it, have breakfast, go for a walk, come back. People are there, satsang is happening, go back again for a walk, come back. None of these activities were any type of a work which he was doing as a doer. The body was moving, it was going, and he was just witnessing. Then there can be a king like Raja Janak, the king Janaka, who was an enlightened. He was running a kingdom. For us, it looked like he was running. He was only witnessing the running of kingdom by that body. And you are saying you feel myself more and more going into non-doership. Yes, that is so good. So good to know. But don't think non-doership means that even when your wife is asking you to get something from market and you say, I'm not doing, I am a non-doer. It is not that. It is that body has to act on a task, it is happening, but you are in that bliss. That is non-doership. Doing work or not doing work has nothing to do with non-doership. And no one can ascertain how beautiful life is when life is directed from the source rather than reflection of the source in form of mind. Mind can still be used by a sage. Because what is mind? Mind is this instrument which helps us to plan, to think, to act, to analyze, but not unnecessarily, not continuous, not ongoing, incessant stream of thoughts happening all the time. And I can tell you why it happens in a person with ego. Because it is ego keeps giving work to the mind all the time. Unending desires, unending likes, dislikes, unending judgment. And the work never ends for mind. So much so that when the body needs rest, mind continues in form of dreams, taking another subtle body. And then finally, by grace of that God, it also goes into deep sleep for some time. Complete rest. So these three stages are not your stages. Our identification with mind makes us believe these are three stages of my life. I am the witness of all these three lives of mind. I'll give you another clue. When Bhagavan, in early days, people used to come to him for bhiksha, which means like they used to give him a treat as a matter of respect. And as part of that, Bhagwan used to go with them around Arunachala hill, circumambulation, parikrama. And he used to start at night. And he always said that you should do this very, very slow, like a pregnant female. So by the time he used to finish, it was like morning. And then the normal day routine started. And next day, again, someone is giving him bhiksha offering. And then he has to go for a walk at night again. Sometimes this used to continue for 3 consecutive days because people had no clue that he has done a day before, a night before. And people living with him used to ask this question, how can you manage not sleeping? He said, sleep for whom? Yes, I'm watching everything, eyes are open. If I close my eyes for a few minutes, then the eyelids will get rest. But what else needs rest? The one which needs to sleep to get rest, I don't use it. Sleep is only for the mind. And that is because we use it so much. Not use, we abuse. When you're not using it, then it does not need rest. It is already resting. It's in resting state all the time. Mind, if resting all the time, then why you need sleep at night? Body is not that tired unless we do really hard labor. If we do hard labor, then yes, body needs some rest. But mainly for most of us, sleeping at night is rest to the mind. So start giving as much rest to this mind as much possible. Don't try to micromanage your life second to second or whatever it is. Witnessing is not something which is like paranoid witnessing how things are happening. Witnessing is when you are aware, you are watching things are in front of you happening. Not that you're looking for this and then this and then this. Whatever comes, whatever goes. You are in your own peaceful state all the time. Whether work comes to you or work leaves you doesn't matter. And I'll give you an example. Sometimes people think that they can escape work, but they cannot sometimes. One of my friends, who's a very good psychiatrist, and one of the patient needed his help because it was a complex movement disorder. I texted him patient's details and I said, can you admit under private, under your care? Because another psychiatrist dealing don't know how to go ahead and I'm pretty sure you can help. And his question to me was, who is this patient? Is it your patient? I said, no. He said, why bother? And he put a question mark and left. And I left it there. If someone is not interested, I can't push. After 3 weeks, he called me that this patient is being admitted under him in a public system from a different route, came to him only. And I told him, look, why bother now? You were avoiding it, came to you only in a different way. You could have accepted that time. I said it in a polite way, not to analyze, criticize him, but I'm just giving this example that sometimes we want to escape from a responsibility or from a situation. It comes back. Sometimes it comes back in a bigger way. Things what our fear, we say sometimes my fear has come true. I thought that it should not happen, when it happened. Have you seen someone learning to ride bicycle and they will see someone in front of the road and the kids sometimes do, they stand like this, that, and then he's doing like this and he will hit that person only, trying to avoid but hitting that person. This happens, isn't it? If we leave everything as it has to happen, I'll tell you, first thing is you are happy right now, whether things happen whatever way. And when things happen in a way for an ego sense mind, not right, then you will not be affected. Because it's an external situation, not in anyone's hand. You're not going to blame anyone, nor yourself. Only thing is that we don't love silence. We love the chatter of mind. As a person who loves only party, party goer, one day of without party and some of these people feel very uncomfortable. In COVID times, so many of these people who are very hard on socializing, they had a lot of trouble staying in their home on their own. And it's only mind. More you give work to mind, more it gets restless. And you stop giving work to mind in all forms, it goes into its resting state. And to speed up this process, I would say you pay attention to the silence within. using this attention there. That means you're not giving any task to the mind, and the mind then goes inward and it dissolves in that pure seeing. Mind becomes no mind. Mind, ego, it's just one same thing. I thought. All these thoughts are serving to this person who, like a kid, like a baby, is asking, I want this, I want this, I want this. You sit with adults, 50 years, 60 years old, 70 years old, 80 years old. They all have strong liking, disliking, judging, analyzing. They want this, they want this. Your interest can change, but still you have some interest. Some things appears to you childish now. But for sage, everything is childish. If you know everything is childish, but still you want to enjoy, then it is okay. Then you are not entangled in anything. Then you can play even as a person projected from that self. Because there is no harm in playing a game, playing with kids, going out, interacting with people. But then these actions are like whatever comes, you are just in that moment, but not attached to the moment. Disinterested action. Don't understand disinterested means depressed, or disinterested means that you want to avoid. If you are avoiding, that means you are interested in avoidance, isn't it? Disinterested means that whatever comes, it is not your passion for which you are wanting that to happen. If it happens, whatever happens, you are happy in that. You can make the best out of it. If people are throwing stones on you, you can make a house of those stones. You can utilize everything in the best possible way. Because you accept it. You accept whatever it is. Our acceptance actually dissolves mind. See, whenever mind acts in form of thoughts, there's always some ifs and buts about things. It should be like this. No, it's not like exactly not like this, what I want. I think. This I is that which gives rise to these thoughts and keeps ticking mind all the time. And we are so much dependent on mind that we think if we don't think and then act, and because that's what we have been taught, think and act, think and act, think and act. Bhagavan says all actions are bondage. And mind has to dissolve. Then this think and act becomes an illusion for a seeker, isn't it? There is higher intelligence which you can catch hold of. It is like you are leaving a small gadget and you become infinite. You leave dependence on this mind-body complex, which is such a small thing. And this infinite intelligence is you. Like you are this pot in which there is air, and you think you are this air. The moment you disidentify yourself with the pot, then you are within the pot and outside the pot, and everything is you. I'll tell you, easiest method is to discriminate what is real, what is unreal. What is source of happiness, what is source of displeasure, suffering. This discrimination between real and unreal is the most thing. Once, and who has to understand this? Only mind, because self is what self is. That ego sense, which is using the mind, when it understands, there is no need to use so much of mind. It drops that. And when it drops that, what happens? There's only silence. So, Fred, you still have doubts that this non-doership will not be good for you?
No, but it's, I have to say, sometimes when you are in non-doership, you want to stay there because you're in bliss. But certain actions come on your path and you have to move. For example, I can imagine your work, you have your patients, you have also planning to follow because people will come to your work. And that's what I am imagining. Sometimes I just want to stay where I am, even if there are responsibilities. I'm in that bliss. And the moment I go in doership, it's very difficult to keep. So that's the reason why I stay more and more in that non-doership. It's the best place for me to be at this moment. But the impact is that some tasks that come on my way, I just say no because I want to stay in that bliss. So it's very difficult to plan my days. I don't plan anymore. And I don't have to for this moment, but
Actually, what you're doing is things are okay with you, but you are giving all this importance to these thoughts. When the work is busy, you feel that you are coming and going. This coming and going business is that ego sense, because there's no coming and going. That actually just gives this notion it as if it is coming and going. There is no coming and going. It is only thoughts on the top of your bliss or yourself, which are still floating, and you are still identifying with those thoughts. And those thoughts say, now your bliss is gone because now you have to do this thing. And you say, yes, but I want to stay like this. So who is staying and who is going and who is coming? This is only thoughts. It's only mind game. So more you witness these thoughts, but don't give your own energy into it as that you are coming and going. What mind is doing is it gives you a sense that you are that mind. You are coming and going. You don't come and go. You always stay the same. It is only thoughts with feelings and emotions which make you feel that you are that. So I would say stay as just that. I also want to tell you one very important thing. Awareness is also an attribute, a function of mind also, because mind can say, or the ego sense can say, I am aware of this moment, I am aware, because, and sometimes it is unaware of a thing, isn't it? Sometimes you are unaware, like you are off guard, something happens and you have not watched. So mind also has a function, awareness. For mind, awareness can come and go, but awareness is always awareness. So I use this term pure awareness. It is not that it comes and goes, but the awareness, which is an attribute of mind, comes and goes. In sleep, there is no awareness of mind. So many times things are happening. I'll give you a very good example. When you are driving a car on a familiar route where you travel every day, sometimes you reach from point A to B without knowing that you have crossed traffic lights and traveled, and then you reach. So you can say, oh, my mind was not aware of the things which we crossed. But see the secret here. There was something which was aware, which continued, that body followed all the traffic rules, reached the destination. We never say thank you to that. Now, we always give credit to mind. Mind was lost somewhere. It was thinking about your previous girlfriend or some other story, and you reached destination. What brought that? That pure intelligence. That pure intelligence did everything. Then you realize that it is like a puppet show. Someone else is controlling the string of this body and every body. It is only your ego sense which thinks, make you think that you are controlling this body. When it drops, doership, ego sense, everything drops. Then you leave this body at its own destination, its own destiny, where it will go, what it is destined to. Because body is destined for something. It is born and it will die. And it is a beautiful instrument by which you can play in this world created by the mind. As if you're doing, you are a person, you're touching, feeling, senses. So you step down from that awareness in the body consciousness and you interact. It has no more role than that. But you don't change. Even when you play through the body, awareness stays the same. Because it has no ownership of body. It does not say that this is my body. Because now it has transcended the mind. It knows that the mind has created all these bodies which we see. Just like at night in dream, it created the whole situation and so many people. Same it is doing now. If sage has to say, he will say, all of you are me and I am you. And so this love is unconditional. So some bodies might want to hit this body, and some bodies want to praise this body. But all these bodies are coming from my mind. Understand this truth. Then when you are as the screen watching this scene, whom would you say is yours or it is not yours? That is pure love. People call it compassion or unconditional love. But sage knows it is just all same energy, playing in different forms without any difference. There is a thief and there is a policeman behind him, and they both are running. It is just they both have the same energy. One has done something stupid, the other is trying to hold. But that awareness is the same in both of them, exactly same. Awareness does not get degraded in a thief or in a sinner. Yes, the act is bad, and that body will be punished. And awareness will stay untouched. And this is the reason for your liberation. It does not count what type of life you have led before. Otherwise, it would be so hard to liberate, isn't it? Because we all have done so many mistakes. Then to find a perfect being who has never done mistake will be awarded liberation, then it is so difficult. And so we say grace, compassion, because that doesn't see what you have done before. It only sees if you want to know it, if you have longing for it, if you want to stay there. Because this is your eternal natural home. The same mind which is projecting outward, when it has interest in knowing this, then it dissolves in this. It is direct, it is simple, it is beautiful. It is not restricted to a person, to a religion, or to some dogma, belief, nothing. And whoever will find it will have the same experience. Maybe the language, maybe the way he might explain can be different. That might come from his culture or his religion or his society, but would be the exact experience. Only thing needed is your interest. When people talk about practices, you will reach by your own unique way, because the maze through which you have come out and projected outward, somehow, when your longing is there, somehow it will find its way back home in its own peculiar way. Have trust on this, have faith on it. It is so beautiful to know that you all are interested in it. I'm so delighted. I'm so happy. Because it is a rare find to see people who are interested. That is the first and I believe the last thing important. Your interest in it. With all due respect to all the people living in that ego sense. One day they might be interested or they might not be interested, I don't know. But right now, in this moment, you are the one. And that is also grace. Because in this world, there are millions of things to be done. People don't have time to finish their unfinished task. And they have a long list of desires, bucket list. And here we meet someone who is interested in nothingness, emptiness, as if he wants to get out of this game. No more player, only witness. How beautiful it is. It's a rare find. It does not happen every day to everyone. We all know that. If it has come to you, it is so good. Anyone wants to ask anything? Sabine, you want to ask something?
Yes, it's thank you. It's a bit different, but I'm thinking about climate change a lot, and that worries me. And I was wondering your view on these big issues, because that's something from outside, and usually things are bubbling from inside. But I have a fear on this climate change. It feels unsettling, and what's happening in the world. And I was wondering your view on this.
I would say change your inner climate and everything will be okay. Because, this is the thing. Understand Maya. There is no clear word in English to say what is Maya. Maya, you can say like an illusion, like in a dream. There are so many things. Like for some, there are things which are creating fear, violence, war, crime, climate change, or things which are enticing you that I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to acquire this. That is all mind. That is all coming from the domain of mind. Projections in different forms. It has its tentacles, millions, zillions of tentacles. It knows how to catch someone by something or the other. By fear, by anger, by greed, by jealousy, by attraction, by desire, by something or the other. I know it might be very strong in you, but I would say to be free of it. You have to change the internal climate. Go into this silence. Go where there is no thought, where you are outside the time and space. Where all these thoughts of fear and situations dissolve completely. Where you see reality, unchanging reality. We can say that climate is wrongdoing of human beings. But then there have been so many times ice age and extinction of dinosaurs and so many things have happened. These different things which our mind projects in front of us, whatever they are all projections. How big this world looks to you, infinite number of galaxies. They are all small as compared to your mind. Understand this. It is all projection of your mind. And that awareness substrate on which it is infinite. That pure vibration, pure energy, which is you. To know that and to get the answer of all questions, there is only one way to know reality. And that reality is only you. If we try to sort out each thought and try to find a solution for it, even millions of life will be less, because there are issues after issues. We can become a reformer, environmentalist, or whatever, but things will be still left out. When you go inside and you look into your inner climate, when this mind dissolves, you know the truth. And still, if that fear is there, you do your bit, I would say. Honestly, whatever you think is right, just do that much. It might be very small, but that's more than enough. Your intention should be pure and right. And then stay there. Because you will help this world more if you stay as self. Because no bad thing can happen in an egoless body. That is for sure. So I would say, if you are in bliss, you are in peace, you will spread goodness only. And you will change the climate around you also. People will be impressed by you in some way or the other. That positive energy will definitely make changes. Another important thing I would say, if you work in a department where you can make changes in climate, then I believe you should do it. But if you don't work in that department, you have nothing to do, then if we talk about, then if we can't do it, it is only giving rise to anxiety, isn't it? Let's say someone asks us how to stop the Ukraine war. I have no connections with Putin, and I don't know how to convince him. What we can do is only pray. Pray for all of them in war zone to be happy, to be in bliss, and pray that war ends. What else can we do? But if we keep worrying ourselves about, I don't think it's going to help anyone. So before we know the reality, if these types of things comes in mind which bothers us, we can just try to have a simple solution. Whatever we can do at our level, that's more than enough. And then again, I would say, surrender to that absolute. He will sort out everything in its own way. Actually, it is sorting out. We don't know. We only know this much of a story. We don't know before and after and how this whole thing is going on. Sometimes in exams, they give a scenario in which it looks like this person is victim and this person is culprit and he has done something wrong. And they are trying to see how much judgmental you can be, whether you can take everything and have compassion for both. Because sometimes we don't know things. Anyone has any question? Thank you, everyone. We'll meet next week. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.